My name is Lorraine Quinn and I'm from the Grey Matters Network. We are the people in the business of providing experienced professionals for many organizations in various capacities and durations. As part of our coaching and mentoring series, today we're talking to two very experienced coaches, Brendan Fitzpatrick and Frank Kelly. You're very welcome. Brendan, maybe you'll tell our listeners a little bit all about you.
Good morning, everybody. Well, obviously, my name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. I'm a management consultant. I'm a member of the Institute of Management Consultants and Advisors. I have an advanced diploma in personal leadership and executive coaching, and I have a postgraduate in UCD in entrepreneurship, innovation, and enterprise. But prior to all this, I was working for 30 odd years within the pharmaceutical global supply chain operations. I was made redundant during the last recession. Really difficult time to find a job, just on the wrong side of 50, and I was worried, to be honest. And I was pretty much forced into starting my own business, which I did. And that consultancy business is still going, but it has evolved into now real coaching and mentoring, helping people to find a job, transition their career, or to explore self-employment as an option. And I'm really passionate about that particular thing because that makes a difference to the individual's lives. And that's something that I'm very, very strongly, that I feel very strongly about.
Thank you. Thank you, Brendan. And Frank.
My name is Frank Kelly. I'm a retired Bank of Ireland manager. I spent obviously the major part of my working life in Bank of Ireland, and my major concentration was on running collection and debt collection units for Bank of Ireland, and then running their fraud units. I'm not a great technical person, but I know what I need and what I want to get out of technology. So I have used technology an awful lot during my working career. I have a BCom degree. I'm a qualified AITI, which is Associates the Institute of Taxation of Ireland, and I'm also a qualified coach. I must say, since I retired from the bank, I retired early, I've been using my coaching experience, etc., in helping people to get jobs who either have been made redundant or are about to be made redundant. And I have worked with Brendan for a number of years now, and we actually work very well together in coaching and in mentoring. I tend to mentor probably more than I coach. That's it.
Well, thank you, Frank. Well, it sounds like I've got the right two gentlemen on the call to talk about rediscovering and reinventing your career. You've been on that journey yourself a number of years ago, and the other R word, retirement. It can be a daunting experience, but also obviously an amazing opportunity for you to rediscover yourself, reinvent yourself. Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that, about how the right coaching can help you on that journey, Brendan.
Absolutely. Well, I know from personal experience, and lots of people would have similar experiences, where when you're made redundant, it can completely unravel your life. And when I was made redundant, I wasn't aware, for example, of job care with excellent service that myself and Frank are very actively involved in on a volunteer basis. And there wasn't really any supports to restart your career or do something different. So you lose your confidence very, very quickly, and your self-esteem drops, to be honest. But one thing I've discovered on my own journey after starting my own business and working with coaching people to help them to start a business themselves or to transition their career is that there are opportunities out there. And even in retirement, by the way, there are opportunities to do something different, to do something that you've always wanted to do. And that suits your own personal circumstances. So, for example, we coach a lot of people in terms of actually, first of all, seeing what they really want to do, getting to explore the pros and cons and the obstacles that they need to overcome to get to the end point. I would always say start with the end in mind. That can be a good thing, and then see what do you have to do to reach the end goal. It's a real coaching phase as well. But certainly, people they can transition their career. They can actually see what skills they have, what are marketable, and what roles that they can be suitable for. If they can decide on a product or service that somebody wants and prepared to pay for, they can start their own business. Ireland has a great entrepreneurial ecosystem going on at the moment. Huge developments, in, for example, the Guinness Enterprise Centre expanding all the time. But one thing they do need the services of a qualified coach and mentor to help them on that journey, just so they can unlock their own potential, see what's possible and available, and that to help them to get some direction and clarity and enthusiasm towards that particular journey that they will have to take. But the rewards at the end of it are really, really, really beneficial.
Oh, thank you, Brendan. And Frank, anything to add on that area of rediscovering and reinventing in this new world?
Yeah, well, as it happens at the moment, we're going through an era whereby, even though we've been going through a pandemic, there are much more opportunities out there for new jobs, etc., than there were before the pandemic started. And so what we're finding is that while people are being made unemployed, etc., there are better opportunities for them now than there were before, and we're helping them. I mean, the main approach of Brendan and myself and most coaches stroke mentors is to help people develop their approach to getting what it is they want, whether that be a new job or whatever else. But from the job, from how we specialize in helping people get jobs, and basically what we're helping them with is their approach, how they go about it. And that's what if we had 3 hours, Brendan and myself would tell you all the things we do to help people get jobs, but we don't. So basically, we develop their approach. Each of them has an individual approach to what it is they want, and we help them. That's basically, I think Ben covered the rest of it. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Frank. And actually, when you talk about approach, there's approach obviously to making a career transition and doing something new, and also lots of people, as you mentioned, Brendan, are venturing out on their own, which is great to see in the whole ecosystem. If you're taking these steps, what would you say are the fundamental steps in taking on that?
Well, first of all, I've always said, and I know this firsthand, that job seeking is very similar to starting your own business. And you need to use the same skills in both situations. Somebody has a problem and you're trying to be the solution to that problem. Mm-hmm. And if you, and this works very well even for job seeking, if you can understand what the employer wants, they want someone to solve a problem for them, they're prepared to pay someone to do this. If you can work out what exactly they want and you can provide that solution for them, there's a great opportunity for you there. But just in terms of actually the self-employment as an option, that's a real option. It was a great way out for me, and it's been tremendously successful and rewarding when I took that step after redundancy. And really, you've got to identify what type of service or product you could provide to solve a problem for someone or something that somebody needs, and you've got to be able to do this at a profit. And the thing about businesses, starting a business, is there's a misconception here. Over 99% of businesses are SMEs. Okay, 92% of businesses have less than 10 people. Mm-hmm. So we think of the multinationals all the time because of the headlines and exposure, but the bread and butter are small businesses, micro businesses in this country. And most of these businesses just provide a service or product to provide for themselves. And that can be really, really successful. And the secret is just to try identify what type of product or service you could provide that somebody wants. And it can be something very basic, but it can provide for you. And that innovative type of mentality can actually create a situation where you can actually provide for yourself and your family and anything else that you need. And it's lots of opportunities. I would always advocate you keep a notebook, because you get the best ideas at the least opportune times, and write them down and then explore them in detail. Use, for example, the lean canvas, which I use quite a lot. And there's 9 different segments to explore all the key elements of starting a business. And what service or product can I provide? And could I provide this at a profit? Because it has to be a profit. Mm-hmm. If it's not a profit, it's a hobby. Might be a very enjoyable hobby, but it's only a hobby, not a business.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, Brendan has sort of specialized there on setting up her own business, which he has great experience at. I would tend to concentrate more on the area of people being made unemployed, etc. And just a few key things. The longer people are unemployed, their self-esteem and self-confidence starts to dwindle. So they need to get up and running as fast as possible. They need to treat looking for a job as a job, not what happens if their confidence gets hit. They begin to back off, if you like, and make excuses for not doing things. The second thing is they need to know what it is they want. They need to pick a spot and work towards that spot. And that's what we can help as coaches and mentors. We can help people define what it is spot they want, etc. The other thing then is we help them with the standard stuff, CVs and everything else. But one of the key things we concentrate on is the power of networking. Some people think they've no network, or that the longer they're out of a job, they've no network. Everybody has a network, and it's not just their network. They have other people's networks. Nobody will ever turn. If you ask people for help, not a job, but help, advice, direction, they will always give it to you. You know, what comes around comes around. People themselves might need the same thing later on, and we also, what we concentrate on with them to the services that we can provide is to make sure they prepare well for interviews, that they don't go in half-cocked or not prepared at all, and we make sure that they go in prepared, in which case they are not as fearful and their confidence is better. So is that okay?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Frank.
Just a small point on the networking, because I think it gets overlooked, and it's very important. Networking is probably the most important thing to finding a job or starting a business. And people are phased and put off by and uncomfortable with networking. It's outside their comfort zone. But in actual fact, networking is only building relationships, and we all do it on a continuous basis. We just don't think of it as networking. Probably the best networkers in the world, anywhere, are Irish mothers. You ask your mother about, anyone that worked in the banking sector, what happened to your man John down the road? She will tell you everything about their whole history, where they are now, who they married. And you would never think of asking your mother for professional advice. Well, then you might be surprised that she gives you. And because they're perfect at networking. They ask questions, they're interested, they have a curiosity, and they're growing their network. And we do it all the time, and you have to keep doing that into the professional situation. People relate to people, people hire people. That's what makes a difference. But the key thing is that it's a two-way process. Networking isn't just about you and what you want. It's what you can do for the other person. It's you being interested and generous with your time also to help them. And what you will find, karma, whatever you call it, it will reciprocate. And people will relate, and what you do will resonate with them, and they will want to help you in return. And that's how you do successful networking.
A final add-on to that, Lorraine, just to emphasize the point, is that when you're looking for a job, particularly 65%, you'll have a 65% better chance of getting a job through networking, as against 35% of jobs being got from recruitment agencies. And Brendan will also talk at times about 70 out of every 80 jobs are never advertised. So you need to hear about things through networking. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm certainly hearing today about the power of networking and relationships, and how you guys can help people even strengthen them to your benefit, and also the value of it. One of the other areas I know, Brendan, that you're very passionate about is about that entrepreneurial spirit that you spoke about, but also your approach to the companies. Maybe you'll talk just a bit about the innovations and that area of doing things different.
It's one thing that myself and Frank really excel with Restart Journey, because if you go to any outplacement company, there's sort of bread and butter stuff they will teach you, tweaking your CV, your cover letter, applications, and so on, interview preparation. But you've got to think outside the box, and this is one of the benefits that I've encountered, is that I'm coming from an entrepreneurial background. You've got to be innovative in how you actually discover opportunities, prepare for opportunities, and get opportunities. And that means that's why I say it's very similar between finding a job and finding a client. Someone has a problem and you're trying to be the solution. So, for example, as Frank mentioned there, 70 to 80% of jobs don't get advertised. So if you're just applying for jobs that are advertised, you're not going to see them all. So you've really got a very low target, to be honest. As well as that, some jobs are advertised, certainly during the pandemic, that don't exist. It's more to promote some recruitment agencies. So you're wasting your time applying for those particular jobs. So what you've got to do, it's a bit like the old days, for the older generation would remember this, where you used to knock on doors and ask, are there any vacancies and so on. It's you don't do that anymore, but it's a little bit like that. We help people to be innovative in their job search strategy. So the networking is obviously a key part of that, to discover opportunities, to discover the skills that you need, but also to research companies in the space that you want to be involved in. Research what skills that you will require to maybe provide value. And it's all about providing value and service to this particular company and providing solutions. And then approach them directly, getting a name through your network and letting them know what you can offer them in terms of value, and looking for an opportunity within. So you're approaching companies who are not even advertising at the moment. And you may just very well be the perfect solution for them at that particular time. We could do somebody in the marketing department. We could do with someone in the IT department. Maybe this guy, Brendan or Frank, or someone that we could use. There's no long-term commitment. So you get your foot in the door, and then you excel from within, develop from within. And what could happen? The worst that can happen is that you've built up a new connection on your network. The best that can happen is you'll get an opportunity in a job, and you'll have a referee or a reference for a future opportunity down the road. And you've got something to put on your CV. And that's been really, really successful, we find, when we're working with our particular coaches and helping them to actually get opportunities.
No, thank you, Brendan. Well, certainly what's coming through on some of my takeaways from today's call is all around the power of networking and using your initiative, and it's a two-way process, and it's a two-way relationship. Being innovative in your approach, either looking for a new career, looking for a new job, or starting out on your own, thinking outside the box and seeking out the opportunities and doing your research and being prepared. So that's certainly coming across. And last but not least, having the right coach like you guys in the corner, helping you guide you through that. And it's become much more easier and accessible with all of these tools that you can do online. So access has never been better. And so I think we'll wrap it up there. This is just a flavour of what the coaches and mentors of the Grey Matters Network can offer you. Our website, www.thegreymattersnetwork.com, and we'll have details on all of our coaching and mentoring program, and also you can find the details for Frank Kelly and Brendan Fitzpatrick on there. Thank you very much for your time today, and we'll see you at the next one. Thank you.